the ball downfield with this offensive line. He won't get benched, but if he tries to play like old Ben, I don't think he's going to make it through a full season this year behind this offensive line. I'm sorry.
Well, I agree with the offensive line. I think more than anything else we talk about on offense, they will be the number one issue, the number one question mark, and how they go will depend on how they play. And who's to say, how can they gel together? Which is why I also think you're going to see a lot more of them in the preseason. Even though they're going to be starters, they're going to have to play to develop some sort of cohesion, some chemistry, and that will be the ultimate tale. And it would also be very important to the run game. If those things click a little bit and then get better as the year goes on, I can see this offense being really difficult to stop. Let's go to our lines there. We got them packed. We got Ray in New Kensington who's first up tonight. Hey, Ray, how are you?
Ray. Hi, Ray.
How you guys doing?
We're good, thanks.
First-time caller.
Oh, appreciate that.
Hey,
Andrew, do you have something to give him?
Is it true if Frazier gets traded, he cannot play in the All-Star game if he gets traded before the All-Star game?
That's a good question. I don't know the rule of that. I've seen guys traded, a week ahead of time and play in an All-Star game if they were selected. I guess it would depend when, Andrew. The other thing is, if you're the Mets or the Pirates, why would you want him to play anyway if that's the case? But then again, if you're him, you want to play.
Depends where. If he's traded to a National League team, he can play for the National League All-Star team. If he gets traded to the American League, I believe that makes him ineligible based on some of the things we've seen in past years. But maybe they've changed the rule. Who knows? The All-Star game used to determine home field advantage in the World Series. I don't think it does that anymore. So, it's anybody's guess. I know. The All-Star game, it's outlived its purpose. It used to be a novelty where fans, we didn't have satellite dishes, we didn't have MLB TV, we didn't have MLB Network. People didn't have access to watch all these players, and there wasn't interleague play, so they didn't play against each other. The All-Star game's a relic, and it's an exhibition. You talk about the Steelers' offensive line, playing more in the preseason. If a guy like Ben Roethlisberger got hurt in the Carolina preseason game, the fans, rightfully so, would go livid. And I know that football is way more of a contact sport than baseball, but we've seen guys like Brian Hayes get injured just swinging a bat, Bob, and they missed 2 months.
Right.
So if I'm the Pirates, I'm telling Adam Frazier, look, you can go out there and, wave and say, it's great to be an all-star, but I would not want him playing in the game. Because if you're going to trade him, if it's imminent, if it can happen any day now, why would you even risk him getting hurt? Even the 1% chance of that happening in a game. We see that in the NHL. Guys get scratched days before the trade deadline because GMs don't want to risk them getting injured.
All right, back to the lines. We got Bill and Shadyside up next. Hey, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bob and Andrew. Enjoy the show, first of all.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I just one quick question, and I'll hang up and listen for your answer. Do you know, just in general, the amount that each individual player makes for winning the NBA championship?
I'm going to guess, and I don't know if this has changed, but I think it's, oh boy, it's an excess of 50. It's between $50,000 and $100,000, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure of that, Andrew. But I know things have changed. I know, like in football and in other sports, you get something based on what these guys make, per game. It kind of pales in comparison. But there is money for those who win. I'm not sure exactly what it is. My guess would be between 50 and 100.
Yeah, I don't know the number off the top of my head. Pierre Maguire told me last week that NHL players make no additional pay for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah,
$0.
Once their season is over, regular season, that's it. They just play to play.
Well, and that's why the Lightning were able to win the Stanley Cup, because they were $18 million over the salary cap. They cheated. They did. They circumvented
Well, they
things.
circumvented. I don't know if I'm going to use the word cheat because it was of something. It was a manipulation of the rules, and a lot of teams do that.
But if we get mad in baseball about how there's haves and have-nots, the Lightning basically created that in hockey this year.
Right, they did.
The NHL needs to do something about that.
Well, can I throw up the Vasilevsky thing, Jared Barton, our producer? Because we're talking about that right now. And Eric Macramella, who's a friend of mine and a lawyer in Montreal, he was mad because, of course, the Canadians lost. But he also made a good point, because I saw this last night when the two goaltenders were shaking hands. And I couldn't believe how much bigger Vasilevsky is not, though. The thing is, if you look at their bios, they're almost the same weight. And yet, Andrew, look at that. What he looks like the
Oh, that's
Michelin
got to
Man.
be photoshopped. That's got to be photoshopped there.
It's from Eric, who is a lawyer, and it's TSN that did it. TSN official.
Wow, he looks like he's wearing a fat suit there.
Yeah, but wasn't there a rule about what you can and cannot wear as a goaltender?
I agree. I mean, I guess that's consistent with what the Lightning did in the playoffs this year.
Maybe that's where the $18 million went, stuffed in his uniform right there.
You're right. That is, wow, I had not seen that. Leave it to a lawyer.
Yeah.
He needs to present
And
that.
a
He needs to
frustrated
mail that
Montreal
evidence.
Canadian fan, too. That was our
He needs to
Tri-State
send that
office.
to Mark Bergevin.
Tri-State Office Furniture Tweet of the Day. We thank TSN and Eric Macramella for that. We'll take a break, come back with more of your calls right here live on Pittsburgh CW.